Today on OC News, the iPhone 6 has been out for an official weekend. We will check in with two new owners.
The 405 freeway may add an expensive alternative, and we'll have the latest in sports and entertainment coming up today. It's another Monday edition of OC News, brought to you by the Broadcast Journalism students of Cal State Fullerton. I'm Tiffany Tejas.
And I'm Willow Valley. A larger screen, a better camera, and it's all the rage. The iPhone 6 came out Friday, and there was no shortage of demand, with people lined up all over the country to get their hands on the latest Apple creation.
It may not be a surprise, but the two options for the new iPhone are getting great reviews. OC News reporter Monse Jimenez is here in the studio with the very latest. Monse?
Were you one of the millions of people lining up for the new iPhone 6 this weekend? If you were, then thanks to you, Apple has set a new record. The company says it sold more than 10 million models of the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus throughout the first weekend it has been available. That is 1 million more than last year when Apple debuted the iPhone 5S. This record number is astounding, seeing as it doesn't include China, the largest smartphone market in the world. According to the New York Times, Chinese regulators have yet to approve the new iPhone models, causing Apple to delay the release of the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus in China. There are no specific model sales figures available at this time, but it is projected that waiting lists will only get bigger, meaning sales will skyrocket once again. The iPhone 6 is not only bigger in size than previous iPhone, but also comes up with new features. One of the biggest remodels is the lock power button that's always been located on the top of the phone and is now on the side of the phone. The new iOS 8 system has updates such as Quick Reply, which allows users to stay in whatever app they're using and answer a text message at the same time. If the iPhone 6 isn't exactly something you want to invest in right now, but you still want something new, the iOS 8 is now available for all iPhones to upgrade. Continuing our discussion about technology, we have Fernando Bo, IT expert, joining us in the studio. Thank you, Fernando, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So with all the hype about the iPhone 6, what is the next big thing?
Integration. In the words of the late Steve Jobs, Apple sells dreams, not products. So they continue to innovate. In my belief, it's going to be integration. One of the new features that the iPhone has is being able to pay for product with your phone with one of the apps. I think continued integration, be it the watch, be it a remote to do everything from your home security, home theater system to your garage door. So continued integration through not only Apple products but integrated products that can be remote controlled, I believe is the continued growth.
Nice. Well, talking about the trends in technology, what have you seen as the biggest transition so far in technology?
The continual acceleration of speed of the products we use. For a while, the phones, as many will recall, they used to get smaller and smaller. We used to have the Motorola StarTAC, which was very, very small. Now we're going to use the phone for a lot more than phone calls. The joke goes that, oh yeah, my item does everything and it takes phone calls as well. So continual usage for information, for research, and for phone calls. So the continued integration of everything into one small package, which is our smartphones.
Oh, yes. How do you think our lives have improved with the advance and rapid change in technology that we're experiencing?
In my opinion, actually, we've gone backwards. There's been, studies that people speak less with people now. We're more, prone to look at a device. The joke goes that, a young couple goes out on a date and they don't talk to each other. They text back and forth.
Absolutely.
In my opinion, I think we're losing personal contact because of the smartphone. In addition, I believe that we're easily bored now because we're used to getting so much information so quick that we're less patient in life.
Yes, absolutely. Our dependence on technology, which is what you just talked about, how bad is it?
I think it's terrible. I've got a young child that pretty much she uses the phone or the iPad or the tablet, whatever you want to call it, for everything. I think that electronics and technology has taken the place of parents in many places. And young kids and so forth, they shouldn't be exposed to certain things. And because of the openness and the availability of information, that actually is causing some conflict in the raising of children. So I think it's a problem.
Are there any recent apps that you've discovered or really absolutely love that make your life easier or that you just want to share?
Exactly. Well, I'm a big car person, so I like Edmunds, I like CarMax, I like the actual applications that actually go into the manufacturers of automobiles. And then also, like most of us, eBay. I'm always looking to buy something, so that's an app that I have on my smartphone, and I'm always looking for different things. Again, for information. To an extent. I mean, you can't live through your phone.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Fernando. It's been a pleasure to have you here in the studio with us. Thank you so much for talking about technology with us. And back to you guys.
Have you guys seen something flying around Cal State Fullerton recently? Well, our very own Kelsey Tyne has the story.
Drones, rovers, not exactly what you expect to see on the campus of Cal State Fullerton. But for the students of the engineering department, these are what get them their diplomas. Each September, the senior students embark on their year-long class where they design and hopefully create projects in their respective fields.
Our club is the Society of Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Engineers, SUAVE for short. The purpose of the club is to introduce people who are interested in RC aircraft and unmanned aircraft into the field.
It isn't an easy process as these students need the proper tools, equipment, and space to create their designs.
For this year, since I am the lead for the Mars rover, I have a team of 11 mechanical engineers, and so we have a 10-week design phase. And from there, we will decide on what new products that we'll put onto the rover and what advancements that we would like to make. And then from there, we will start manufacturing in November.
A big hurdle for these students in September isn't the design, it's getting funding. With some financial support from Cal State Fullerton, it's up to these students to present their ideas to companies in hopes of getting that extra dollar.
As of right now, we are using our old design, and we're using that as testing as to analyze what things that we can improve. And from there, we'll decide how much money we would need, and then we would look into companies that would have those products and willing to support us or give us discounts, and those are the things that we could use.
With students underway with the design process, it's up to them to find funding to get their projects ready for their June competitors. Taco Tuesday, no more as one Cal State Fullerton sorority has been suspended for not so friendly post. Alyssa Flores has the story.
Tonight, sororities at Cal State Fullerton will collectively welcome hundreds of young women to their chapters as recruitment comes to an end. All the Alpha Delta Pi. Last month, AD Pi hosted a culturally inappropriate Taco Tuesday. Many of the members came dressed in culturally insensitive attire, such as sombreros, sarapes, and even gang costumes. As a result, university officials will not allow AD Pi to participate in fall 2014 recruitment. Many CSUF students disagree with school officials.
There's a lot of different themed parties that are offensive towards other races as well.
I don't think it's offensive that they dressed up that way, because I don't think they intentionally went to hurt or offend others.
Others are on board with the university's decision.
It was Taco Tuesday. It wasn't like Mexican Independence Day or a holiday in Mexico where people can celebrate Mexico, so they just made it offensive.
Like mustaches and sombreros, that they're the ones that eat tacos and stuff like that, that no one else could eat them.
The sorority is on disciplinary probation through December 2015. They'll be required to take part in diversity workshops and programs, including one similar to Ohio University's, We're a Culture, Not a Costume.
I spoke with members from other sororities here on campus, and they say that this is an unfortunate situation, but it could have happened to any chapter. For OC News, Alyssa Flores.
Orange County's top transportation officials clashed with each other this morning on whether to confront state plans to put toll lanes on America's busiest stretch of freeway.
Caltrans' proposal to add toll lanes along the San Diego 405 freeway between the 55 and 605 freeways in western Orange County hasn't been met with overwhelming public approval.
Caltrans officials have enthusiastically supported the toll lanes option, saying it's the fastest way to move people and goods on the North County section of the 405.
Opponents of the so-called Lexus lanes believe that it's not a worthy option because they don't believe many single-passenger cars would be willing to pay upwards of $10 during rush hour traffic to get around.
With dozens of pets falling victim to coyotes in Seal Beach, the city is about to take matter into their own hands.
A 5-member task force of Seal Beach residents came up with a solution on trapping and killing coyotes, along with an aggressive campaign to warn residents about the dangers associated with coyotes.
The panel is also recommending the city to clean up overgrown areas where coyotes take shelter, as well as impose fines of up to $100 on residents who directly or indirectly feed animals. Straight ahead on OC News, warm weather is still with us, but cooler temperatures are in the forecast.
And flu season is right around the corner, and that means flu shots are ready. OC News will be right back.
Titan TV is a student-operated facility maintained by students.
It's on the Cal State Fullerton campus, and it's a great opportunity for Cal State Fullerton students to get hands-on experience directly in a studio environment.
Working with Titan TV puts me in this professional environment. Everyone here is really fun to work with, and everyone just gets along so well. I'm having a great time.
Titan Radio is Cal State Fullerton's own radio station located in the basement of Pollock Library. Students can stop by and pick up an application during operating hours. Anyone who has a computer and internet can listen to us www.titanradio.org. A lot of people who want to pursue TV and film usually start out in radio, so it's always a great opportunity.
Tonight marks the beginning of fall. The September equinox is set to happen at 7:29 p.m. Let's take a look at the current temperature here in Fullerton as we slowly welcome cooler weather. Coming back from a nice sunny weekend, the current temperature is a comfortable 84 with a low of 64 and winds traveling at about 7 miles per hour with 52% humidity. Now let's take a look at the temperatures for the week. Notice the big change from last week, more than 10 degrees lower than last week. Orange County temperatures are in the high 80s and low 90s, and not as sunny as we've recently seen. Now let's take a look at the 5-day regional forecast. Let's see how the Inland Empire is doing. We've got sunny and hot weather. The IE is only getting a little bit of heat relief. Temperatures are averaging in the upper mid-90s. Now, let's look at the coast. The coast is looking partly cloudy with beautiful temperatures in high 70s and some cooler lows in the mid-60s. Looks like a perfect week to hit the beach. Now, let's take a quick look at tonight's national forecast. As you can see, temperatures are cooling down a little bit in Southern California with warmer weather in Las Vegas and Phoenix. Notice the stormy weather over here that Florida is experiencing tonight, along with some storms southwest in El Paso and also Midwest in Denver. That's your weather forecast for today. Will, back to you.
Thank you, Tiffany. Does it sound familiar? If so, you're not alone. Flu season is here. And so is Liliana with all your health news.
Thank you, Will. The first day of autumn is tomorrow, and you know what that means. Flu season is right around the corner. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommends you get your flu shot now because it takes approximately 2 weeks after vaccination for it to become effective. A common question asked is, how bad is the flu season expected to be? According to the CDC, that is not possible to predict, so it is best to be prepared. They encourage individuals older than 6 months old to get the vaccination. The government recommends children between 2 and 8 should get a flu mist instead of a shot. The CDC recommends those 65 and older to get a 2-dose series of a new vaccine followed by another vaccine 6 months later. Think you're too healthy for the flu shot? Think again. 6 out of 10 flu cases reported last year were individuals between the ages of 18 and 64. The CDC is expecting about 150 million doses of vaccine this year. The Ebola outbreak is deteriorating West Africa's healthcare system, and doctors are in desperate help. Humanitarian groups have donated nearly $6 million worth of medical supplies to communities that have been hit the hardest, including Liberia. 100 tons of gloves, masks, antibiotics, and pain medications have arrived in West Africa. Liberia has become ground zero and people are afraid to touch each other. Relief cannot come fast enough and Ebola is spreading quickly.
Our Cal State Fullerton sports teams are preparing for a successful October.
And more nude celebrity photos have been leaked. Coming up on OC News.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I did nothing. Uh-oh. Okay, I stole a cheeseburger once on my dog.
So, April.
Yeah?
You know your charger's still using energy when it's plugged into the wall, right?
Yeah, but that's not my charger. I don't even have a cell phone.
Millions of kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse?
For everything going on in the sports world, let's head over to our sports anchor, Joseph Anderson.
Thanks, guys. Well, October's right around the corner, and that means playoff baseball is approaching quick. Both the Dodgers and Angels have clinched playoff berths, but only the Angels have clinched the division title to this point. The Angels ran away with the American League West Division in recent months, pulling away from the Oakland Athletics, who have struggled to maintain their early season success. The Dodgers, on the other hand, are still in a division battle with the San Francisco Giants for National League's West supremacy. The Giants are 4.5 games behind the Dodgers as they prepare for a 3-game set at Dodger Stadium. While that is an incredibly tough mark to make up for in just 1 week, it is October, so anything is possible. It was also a busy weekend for on-campus sports, as Titan Athletics got a big boost with their strong showing over the weekend. The men's and women's soccer teams were extremely impressive, going a combined 3-0 this weekend. The women's soccer team dominated the Idaho State Bengals 4-1 on Thursday night at Titan Stadium, using 2 second-half goals from Rebecca Wilson to blow by their opponents from the Big Sky Conference. Colleen Ortega and Christina Birkenrode each scored their first goals of the season in the first half, putting Fullerton up 2-0 in just 12 minutes. By the time Idaho State scored their lone goal of the match in the 77th minute, the Titans had pulled the game out of reach. Fullerton plays Pepperdine and San Diego later this week as their final tune-up for Big West Conference play, which begins when the Titans visit Hawaii on October 2nd. The men's soccer team was equally as successful, winning 2 games in 3 days to get on a 3-game winning streak. On Friday night, the Titans barely pulled out a 1-0 victory over the visiting Santa Clara Broncos, using a goal from Garrett Losey in the 67th minute to pull away from their West Coast Conference opponents. On Saturday, their offense erupted for 3 scores in their 3-1 win over the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Losey was again the hero, putting the Titans ahead in the 71st minute. Ian Ramos officially put the nail in the coffin in the 89th minute, scoring to put the game out of reach. The Titans will next take the field on Sunday when they head to Arizona to take on Grand Canyon University. The CSUF cross-country team had an impressive showing out in Santa Clarita on Saturday, where the men's team finished in 2nd place and the women's team came in 4th. They will return to the course next weekend to compete at the Coyote Classic in San Bernardino on Saturday. Fullerton's women's volleyball team played host to the Fullerton Classic over the weekend, but they did not have the same success as some of the other teams on campus. CSUF won just one of their 3 matches, defeating the Georgetown Hoyas in 5 sets, but falling to Yale and UCLA in the tournament. UCLA went on to win the tournament with a perfect 3-0 record over the weekend. Titans freshman Nikki Withers earned all tournament honors after an impressive showing, oftentimes keeping the stagnant Titans offense afloat. Withers will lead the Titans as they begin conference play on Friday when the Cal State Northridge Matadors come to town. That's all the sports I have for you today. Back to you guys.
Big day in entertainment, everything from albums to babies. Our Alyssa Flores has entertainment covered. Alyssa?
Lots of exciting news for Beyonce and Jay-Z fans this week. Despite the divorce gossip that circulated all summer long, pregnancy rumors started flying after Jay-Z reportedly changed a song lyric to say, "'cause she's pregnant with another one." During a performance Friday in Paris, although we can't be sure whether Queen Bee is actually expecting, sources close to the couple have confirmed that the power duo is currently working on a huge new joint album set to be released in late 2014 or early 2015. Congratulations to Eva Mendes and Ryan Gosling, who welcomed their first baby girl to the world last week. The notoriously private couple is yet to reveal the name of the baby. In fact, they never confirmed that they were expecting in the first place. Although we probably won't be hearing from them anytime soon, a source close to the couple reports that Eva is feeling great and they are both very happy and in love. Can you really trust that the content on your cloud storage is secure? Over 10 celebrities were targeted nude photo leak this weekend. Kim Kardashian, Rihanna, and Gabrielle Union were among the women whose personal pictures were stolen. This leak is the second to take place in the last month. The first one in August contained personal selfies and other images of Jennifer Lawrence and Kate Upton. It drew the FBI's attention and spurred an investigation by iCloud sharing service operator Apple. The company's CEO Tim Cook responded saying that iCloud accounts were compromised in a targeted attack on certain celebrities. This was not a widespread security breach affecting all users. Cook says the stars were either victims of phishing scams or had their passwords stolen because hackers had guessed their security questions correctly. A Northern California Italian restaurant is offering customers 25% off for a bad Yelp review. Yes, you heard that right. Owner Davide Serentini of Botto Italian Bistro says he is tired of being pressured by the review site to purchase ad space. Serentini believes that Yelp has too much power and wants to prove that they don't have power over him. The restaurant has received hundreds of one-star reviews since the promotion began and hopes to become the worst reviewed restaurant in Yelp history. Meanwhile, Serentini is enjoying the booming business the publicity has brought him, with customers lining up out the door. A reality TV couple is calling it quits, and an A-lister picks up another project. Mary Mueller has those stories and more in today's Hollywood Minute. Mike Thompson have announced they're splitting up. The couple never officially married, but they exchanged vows in a commitment ceremony last May. Thompson is 9-year-old Alana's father and her 3 older sisters' stepdad. Though her latest directorial efforts haven't premiered yet, Angelina Jolie already has another film in the works. Variety reports Jolie has signed on to the direct elephant poaching biopic Africa for Skydance Productions. The newlywed is currently directing By the Sea, which she also wrote and stars in alongside husband Brad Pitt. Disposition thrill R The Maze Runner dominated the box office this weekend. The young adult adaptation opened with $32.5 million. Liam Neeson's A Walk Among the Tombstones took the number 2 spot. It brought in more than $13 million, and ensemble comedy This Is Where I Leave You rounded out the top 3. It grossed almost $12 million for Hollywood Minute. Well, that's all the entertainment news and gossip we have for you today. I'm Alyssa Flores. Back to you.
For those of you who are pet lovers, you'll adore this next heartfelt story.
Can I have your paw? Thank you.
If Bailey's learned anything, he's learned how to put his best foot forward. He's certainly won over everyone at the Post Road Vet. I've pedaled and piked.
I was just walking down the sidewalk with a bone in my mouth. Now all this.
You see, someone found it,
Can you give me your paw?
bone in tow, Tuesday, and noticed he needed attention. So they brought him here.
Looking at him when he came in, we were like, he's not going to be chipped. Because he was just covered in fleas. He looked terrible. His teeth were terrible.
As soon as you run it over him, it pulls up the microchip number.
When they scanned the chip, they were surprised to learn he was also registered. But that wasn't the biggest surprise. He disappeared from Austin, Texas 6 years ago. Luckily, all those numbers were still current, so they called.
She could barely talk. She was like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm so excited. I'm not making any sense. Oh my gosh, he's my family. I'm so excited.
The pictures bear all that out. Bailey was living a dog's life before he disappeared. He was the ring bearer in his owner's wedding, made himself at home in Austin with a baby. His future was so bright, he had to wear shades. But that was 6 years ago.
I like your little tail.
Folks already raised $800 to get him home.
We actually have somebody that is going to be traveling to Austin on Thursday night, so she's going to take him with her.
The key to this homecoming is the microchip.
But it is rare for a dog to be missing for 6 years and be scanned in with a microchip. Oh, did you hear that cookie jar?
Bailey's been enjoying all the attention and certainly all the treats for now. But the real treat will come on Thursday.
So glad to get you back home.
That's going to do it for us today. Thanks for joining us here at OC News.
Have a fantastic week. We'll see you next time.